So with these words now, I now come to the specific introduction of today's speakers, because the KYFA has taken a different turn. It has become a jugalbandi now, because we are now started getting hold of, husband and wife combinations from the Delhi DTA stables. And today we have a pair of doctors who have done very well for themselves in their own respective fields. I'm not going to introduce them, that is left for them. I'm just going to tell you about the most important facet of Dr. Easwaran. Dr. Raju Easwaran, his father was also, he retired as the principal of DTA Mandir Marg. And Dr. Easwaran has his own clinic. He's also a consultant in orthopedics. His wife, Dr. Uma Hariharan, is she's the professor of anesthetics in the RIL. And today, both of them will be presenting themselves and the life journey that they had since leaving school, and what they have done for themselves and what they'd like to do for the school and help in building up their alumni movement. So with these words, I hand over the proceedings to Dr. Easwaran to come and present this life story. Thank you very much, and over to Dr. Easwaran.
Namaskaram from both of us, and a big thank you to the MEA Banyan Association for having us present our journey. We are very grateful to the Alumni Association. We are also very grateful to the office bearers, Mr. Ganesh, Vivekji, Mr. Sukumar Rajagopalan, and Mr. Vaidyanathan, amongst all the others whom I have not named, mainly because I'm quite pleasantly surprised to see that nearly 3/4 of the audience that is present today actually went to DTA before both of us were born. I was born in 77, Uma was born in 78, and in the introductions in the initial phase, it was quite a pleasant surprise to know. So with your permission, I'll start my KYFA presentation. I'll just share my screen with you all. Right. I hope the presentation is visible to you. Great. So right. So as I introduced, I am Raju Easwaran. I am from the 1994 DTA Mandir Marg, and my wife Uma is one batch junior. She is from the LB Nagar branch, respectively. I owe my presence in DTA to my late father, Shri R.P. Easwaran, who dedicated his entire professional life to the Tamil schools. He started as a physics PGT at DTA Pusa Road, and I noticed one or two people from Pusa Road, and they might probably remember him. He then became the vice principal of DTA Motibag, and I believe one gentleman is already from Motibag present in this gathering. And then he continued to become principal of DTA Janakpuri for several years, and then he shifted to Mandir Marg. Thankfully, when I was a student in DTA Mandir Marg, he was a principal in Janakpuri. I was quite clear that he should not be the principal in the same branch that I was studying till the time I passed my standard 12. Now, DTA runs in our family. So this is a family photograph which was taken at the time of my wedding engagement. You obviously can recognize me and Uma, and Appa is sitting in the chair. Appa had a bit of arthritis problem, and that affected him severely in the last years of his life. My sister, who is seen seated next to Appa, she is also a junior from DTA, same branch, Mandir Marg. Even my mother, who spent most of her professional career as an engineer, she is a civil engineer and one of the only lady civil engineers at that point in time. She retired as an assistant engineer from the NDMC. She taught mechanical drawing for several months before she could get a firm employment in NDMC. So in a way, all five of us have DTA in our blood. I had an opportunity to visit the school several years ago, and my friend Dheeraj, who is a cardiologist, we both went together, and these are photographs taken at that particular point in time. This is, I think, class 11D, and I was quite surprised that I could still fit myself into those benches. Probably when we were students, two of us would fit into that bench, but I guess now even one of us would struggle to fit into that bench properly. Another thing that me and Uma have in common is that from my batch, I think, yeah, it was from my batch that an all DTEA topper award was instituted. So the person who used to get the maximum marks in 12th standard in the board examinations would be given a gold medal. So I got that award in 1994, and the DTA Mandir Marg roll honor still has my name mentioned. And I had, for some good reason, fairly high marks at that point in time. These days, I think kids get marks even higher than this. But in 1994, these kind of marks were a little difficult to get. I also got the gold medal. Perhaps I was the first recipient of that award. But unfortunately, what happened was our home was robbed 5-6 years thence. And the robbers took away the gold medal as well. But when I married Uma, the gold medal made a reappearance into our household. So this is the same gold medal which she won next year. And I still remember Appa was saying that in the varsham edo or Uma Hariharan gold medal kadachirukku ana onnathren marks ille avalukku. Little did we realize that the same Uma Hariharan would join the Ishwaran household several years later. So I then embarked upon my professional journey. I was lucky enough to be selected in Maulana Azad Medical College. I secured the 12th rank in the Delhi pre-medical test, and I got admission to the prestigious Maulana Azad Medical College, where I did my MBBS. Immediately after passing my MBBS, I was again fortunate to secure a good rank, and I went to Safdarjung Hospital for my orthopedic training. And after finishing my MS Orthopedics in Safdarjung, I spent some time at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences for what we call the senior residency, further refining of my training. In a similar trajectory, Uma did her MBBS at the prestigious Armed Forces Medical College in Pune. Here again, we have one thing in common. Both Maulana Azad Medical College and AFMC Pune consistently rank in the top 5 medical colleges across the country year after year. I mean, this is a trend which is unbroken for the past 40 to 50 years now. After passing her MBBS, she went to the prestigious Gangaram Hospital to do her specialized training in anesthesia. She is an anesthesiologist. She is also well trained in critical care, and pain management forms her key competence area. After Gangaram, she joined Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital as a senior resident, and later through a UPSC interview in which she secured the first rank, she is now a faculty. She is an assistant professor of anesthesia, associate professor of anesthesia at the Dr. RML Hospital. And these days we have the COVID, which is the news all over the world. And Uma just finished her COVID duty. There was a photograph that I had of Uma in her COVID duty, but unfortunately it's not showing. So again, as I said, we got married in 2002. We are a DTEA couple, and this is a photograph not of our marriage, but then of our engagement, which happened on 4th of November 2011.
2001.
Oh, 2001. I think I'm in for a lot of lecture at the end of this talk. Moving on, coming to specialized training, after finishing my postgraduate education and training at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, I developed a keen interest in sports surgeries. Now, these surgeries are keyhole surgeries. They are done. So a traditional orthopedic surgery would be done through a very big incision. And that's how things were when I started with my MS in orthopedics from Safdarjung Hospital. But the world was more advanced than us, and the rest of the world was actually doing keyhole surgeries through a very tiny 4mm incision. So this was my specialized training with Professor Philippe Volonty at the Institut de Lamont. Lamont is French for hand, and this institute has 52 orthopedic surgeons who just work on the hand and the upper extremity. I got a good exposure to shoulder surgeries with Professor Volonty. And then I moved to Lyon. This is Professor David Dijour, who is a world-renowned expert in knee surgeries. And then a little bit of training in America at the DePuy Synthes Institute, which is a very reputed, you would have all heard of Johnson & Johnson. So Johnson & Johnson, apart from interest in baby products, it also has an interest in sports medicine products. And I was recently with Dr. Laurent Lefosse, again, a leading shoulder surgeon. He is the head of the Alps Surgery Institute, Annecy. And I advanced my skills in arthroscopic shoulder surgeries in the time that I spent with him. So some of my accomplishments, I am quite keen, I'm quite a keen proponent of fitness and exercise. So this was a minutes to miles challenge. So a group of ladies were groomed to run the marathon, various distances from 4 kilometers to 42 kilometers. So I am seated next to my teacher in Safdarjung Hospital, Dr. Deepak Chaudhary. So both of us were the sports consultants for this particular program. Through Max Hospital, where I work, I was also fortunate to be associated with the IPL team of Delhi, and I was their sports consultant while they were playing on the field. And through a little bit of my academic work, I gained this bit of recognition. One of my papers in a key area of sports medicine won the Best Paper Award, and I was very happy to receive it in my own alma mater. This award I received in Safdarjung Hospital. Now, regarding Uma, this is a recent photograph. She has cleared the European Diploma in Anesthesia. It's an intensive care. It's a difficult exam with a barely 25% pass percentage. She gave this a couple of years ago in Barcelona, Spain, and she was awarded the EDAC. Very few people hold this particular degree. And amongst other achievements of Uma, she is the youngest anesthetist to receive the prestigious FICA, that is the Fellow of Indian College of Anesthesia. She received it at a convocation in Mumbai. Oh yes, so that's where Uma's photo as a COVID warrior is. And she recently finished her COVID ICU posting, and she is likely to do this posting once every 2 months. Now, the beauty of this particular photograph, right now, me and Uma are sitting in an air-conditioned room wearing comfortable clothing. But this particular clothing, it makes you sweat a lot. And due to COVID, you can't have the ACs on. And since you are catering to a very high COVID charged environment where the very air has COVID virus roaming around, Uma can't take off her mask. So that means that she can't even have a sip of water, let alone food, for the 8 hours that she is in her rotation in the COVID ICU. So this was a very stressful posting. What's more stressful is that since Uma was quite concerned about transmitting the infection to family members, she had to stay separately for the 2 weeks that she was in the COVID ICU and for the 1 week of quarantine thereafter. But thankfully, with the grace of God and with good wishes of elders, the duty went off well, and she is now back to her mainstream duties. Uma is a trained Carnatic singer, as you will hear a little later. She has represented the health ministry in inter-ministry music contests. And I think for the past 3 or 4 years in a row, she has won the gold medal and the silver medal for either Hindustani classic or Carnatic classic alternating. Like she won the gold medal for Hindustani classic in 1 year, and the next year she won the gold medal for Carnatic classic. Despite being Tamilians, Uma is very good in Hindi, and this is the award that she got from the medical superintendent of RML Hospital for her prowess in Hindi debate, Hindi essay writing competition. Again, another award, 2018-19. I think it was in this year that she got the best prize for Carnatic Classical. So Uma, apart from being in RML, you would probably, all of you would recognize the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji. So Uma is a direct part of the core medical team that takes care of Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji's health. And she is required to sometimes travel with the Honorable Vice President as well. So this group photograph was taken in Chhattisgarh, and seated along with Shri Venkaiah Naidu is the governor of Chhattisgarh, and this is the Raj Bhavan where this photograph was taken. Now, whenever Uma is on the vice president duty, she follows a 8-hour and a 12-hour duty rotation, and she has to go along with VP sir wherever he goes. Our clinic was named the Shri Meenakshi Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Clinic. There were multiple reasons why we named our clinic the Shri Meenakshi Clinic. My mother's maiden name is Meenakshi. We greatly revere the Meenakshi Sundareshwaran temple in Madurai. And also, I live in Shalimar Bagh, and the local South Indian temple is the Meenakshi Amman temple. Professor P.K. Dave, who was the former director of AIIMS, inaugurated this clinic on April 7, 2008. Seen in this picture is my mother as well. And Professor Dave, I had the pleasure of working with him after I passed out from AIIMS, and after Professor Dave joined private practice in Rockland Hospital. He was kind enough to grace the occasion with his presence. I'll take you through a short video for the clinic in its present form. I'll just have to temporarily unmute myself. Shri Meenakshi Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Clinic is a high-end clinic catering to all the orthopedic needs of the local population. It is conveniently located in the heart of North Delhi at Shalimar Bagh, within walkable distance of the Shalimar Bagh Club. The main focus of the clinic is on joint preservation procedures. The clinic offers services for minimally invasive surgeries, also known as arthroscopic procedures, of the knee, shoulder, and hip. The clinic is managed by Dr. Raju Ishwaran, who has an extensive experience in joint preservation and replacement through training at several centers of excellence in India and abroad. It offers an ambience of international standards and maintains the highest standards in medical ethics and clinical care. We invite you to revisit traditional orthopedic treatment. Let us shoulder your pain and make you active. After all, life is movement and movement is life. We were lucky to get some recognition of this clinic, of our clinic in the press for the past 2 years. In 2019, Times of India did not release this rating. Probably we may have made the list in 2019 as well if the list was released. But 2017 and 2018, our clinic was voted as one of the top 5 clinics across Delhi and NCR. So my area of passion is arthroscopic surgeries, which is commonly known as sports surgeries. These are minimally invasive surgeries. As you saw in that video, these surgeries are done through a tiny 4mm incision. I have been fortunate enough to touch the lives of several sports people, some of the notable ones being, I don't know if you recognize this young lady. She is a wrestler in the 69kg category, Divya Kakran. And for the very first time in the last Asian Games, she won bronze medal for India. And she had a chance to visit our clinic and get some treatment for her knee injury. Similarly, those of you who follow football might recognize Robin Singh. Robin Singh plays for Delhi. He also plays for India. In fact, in the World Cup qualifier, which was held a couple of years ago, he scored the crucial goal against Mauritius, which even though was useful and helped India win the game at that particular point, but was not sufficient enough for India to qualify for the Football World Cup. So I'm quite passionate about sports surgery. So when you think of an orthopedic surgeon, the traditional thinking is a person who fixes broken joints, broken bones and joints. And I do that as a part of my work as well. I also do joint replacements. But the thing that I'm most passionate about are keyhole surgeries or minimally invasive surgeries. The other side of us both, our hobbies, I quite enjoy photography, and I thought this particular photo would be the most appropriate to show to you. You would all recognize the west facade of the Meenakshi Amman temple. This photograph was in Madurai, and this particular photograph was taken with a wide angle lens with me literally prostrating on the ground. And I'm going to play a short audio clip, and I will mute myself to avoid an echo. This is a tribute to the Meenakshi Amman, which is jointly sung by my wife Uma and by our son R. Karthik. Just give me a second to mute myself.
Vanu sahasrakoti sadrisham keyura rojvalam bimboshtim smitadanta pankaruchiram pedambara nankritam Vishnu Brahma Sure Drasevita Padam Tattva Swarupam Shivam Meenakshim Pranato Smizantadamahanga Runyava Ramidim
Muktaharala Satkirita Ruchiram Purnendruvatra Prabham Shenjenno Purakinkini Manidharam Padma Prabha Bhasuram Sarvabhishta Parapradam Girisutam Vani Namastevitam Meenakshim Pranatosmi Santatamaham Karunyavaram Nidhim
Shri Vidyam Shivavamabha Ganilayam Shri Karamantrojvalam Shri Chakrangita Binduma Dhyavasatim Shri Matsabhanayikam Shri Matshanmugavi Naraja Jananim Shri Jaganmohinim Shreenakshim Pranatosmi Santata Maham Karunyavaram Nidhim
Srimat Sundaranayakim Bhayaharam Jnanapradam Nirmalam Shamambam Kamalasanarchita Padam Narayanasyanujam वीणा वेणुमृदङ्गवाद्यरसिकां नानाविधामम्बिकां मीनाक्षीं प्रणतोऽस्मि सन्ततमहं कारुण्यवारां
नानायोगी मुनीन्द्र सुवसतिं दानार्तसे देप्रदां नानापुष्पविराजिताङ्घ्रियुगलां नारायणे नार्चितां नादब्रह्ममयीं परात्परतरां नानातत्त्वात्मिकां मीनाक्षीं प्रणतोऽस्मि सन्ततमहं कारुण्यवारां
श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यस्य श्री गोविंद भगवत पूज्यपाद शिष्यस्य श्रीमच्छंकर भगवत कृतौ मीनाक्षी पंचरत्नं संपूर्णम्.
So I hope you enjoyed the Jugalbandi of R. Karthik and Uma. We were fortunate to conduct Karthik's Poonal, and this was thanks to the blessings of my mother, Mrs. Meena Ishwaran, my father-in-law, Shri S. Hariharan, who is probably joined in this meeting, and my mother-in-law, Shrimati Rajalakshmi. And Vipradavani is a famous magazine amongst the Tamil Brahmins. It holds perhaps the same status as the Cosmopolitan does in elite society to the Brahmins, and the Poonal was featured in Vipradavani magazine in the February edition. And this is a family photograph from that function. It was conducted at the auspicious Padmanabha Swami temple ramparts, and all of you would be reading the news these days. I think the management of the temple has recently been given to the royal family by the Supreme Court. So we were fortunate. So this mandapam called Anantashayanam is located within a few steps of the temple. And it's thanks to the lovely arrangements made by our seniors that we were able to conduct this function. Me and Uma are active in civil society as well, apart from our responsibilities as doctors. Both of us are Rotarians, and I was very happy to know that Ganesh ji and several others, in fact, Dr. Subramaniam, they are all senior Rotarians, and we are fairly active in orations in the Rotary group as well. We have joined a new branch of Rotary called the Rotary Club of Delhiites. And this was me giving a short talk on exercise and fitness, which if time permits, I would like to share here as well. And this is Uma doing a rendition of the Saraswati Vandana at the governor's visit of the Rotary function. So we both are quite active in our local Rotary as well. Now, when it comes to our clinical interest, I am interested in minimally invasive orthopedics. Uma is mainly interested in pain management, and I think we are able to complement each other's skills. And I would be glad to share with you some exercises. I notice a lot of you are seniors. I hope you are all in good health, but just in case a little bit of knee pain or shoulder pain bothers you, I have made 2 YouTube videos, which I'll be very happy to share the links for in the chat window. This may be of some benefit to people who have knee or shoulder pain. Romba Nandri, I really thank you for your attention. So this was my introduction talk, and I would be open to any questions that you may have on this. Or if time permits and if the dignitaries want me to move on, I can move on to my talk on exercise.